Hey, what's up, you guys? Johnny Beane here. This is exclusively Van Halen, the online show and podcast. You guys, is this true? I've been seeing this all over the internet. People have been telling me about this stuff. It's been a week, a couple weeks or something. But it looks like Guitar World is picking it up. Guitar Player is picking it up. So we're gonna talk about this. You guys, if you like your Van Halen, this is the place you want to be right here. Exclusively Van Halen. So make sure to smash that subscribe, smash that thumbs up, and let's do a show. All right, here we go.
Hey, this is Michael Anthony right here, and you are watching exclusively Van Halen on the Johnny Beane TV. Keep it there. Woo! See ya.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Johnny Beane here. This is exclusively Van Halen, the Van Halen Show on YouTube. We are also on X, and we are also on Facebook. And again, if you guys like your Van Halen, this is the place you want to be right here. So smash that subscribe button. We're looking to get to 13K YouTube subscribers. So, okay. Now, I think it's been a couple weeks. I'll say that I've been hearing about this, and I've been waiting to say anything about this because, I don't want to spread rumors and whatever. But I think it's been a couple weeks where, I think it's this magazine, this guy apparently he interviewed Alex, and Alex had said something about Steve Lukather, working on some brand new Van Halen songs or a brand new album. And then I guess somebody asked Lukather about it, and he said, oh, okay, well, if Alex said it's happening, then so I guess he talked about it some. Now Guitar World is picking it up. Guitar Player is picking it up. Music Radar, so it's out there. Again, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. It's spreading all over the internet. And pink guitars rock. That's right. Ian, you got your guitar. Right on, man. Cool. Bay Area Rich. Good to see you, man. Keith H., Mike Wood, Charles Kelly. Good to see you guys. Okay, so we're going to talk about this for a little bit. And again, I'm not saying this is 100%. But I'm just saying I've been hearing about this. People have been telling me about this. And it's looking to be more and more possibly true. But before we get into it, let's say hello to the top tier of channel members here on YouTube. You guys know we have channel membership, and the top tier get their names read at the top of every talk show. There are currently Music Therapy Laz, Majestic PB and J Cat, Woody Be Real, Flipper Carlin, CC, Bay Area Rich, Sherman Callahan, Nova 9, Warlag, R Habs, and of course Janice, Lala the Intern. Thank you guys for your continued support for this channel and these shows. As channel members, you get exclusive content. You get your name in green in the chat. Like Charles, like Ian, like Bay Area Rich, like Mike. Good to see you guys. Okay. All right. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this. Like I said, it's spreading all over the internet. There was another website that posted about this yesterday. It looks like they may have taken it down. But probably because everybody's saying, oh, this is fake, this isn't real, blah, 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 whatever. But now that Guitar World is posting about it, Guitar Player is posting about it, it's looking like it may be more and more true. But like I said, there was this magazine. Somebody said that they interviewed Alex, and there was a magazine. I saw the I mean, I didn't physically see it, but I saw somebody holding the magazine. It was The photo was, the front cover was Van Halen from Fair Warning era. and it said New Van Halen or something on it. So it looks like this is possibly coming from either two different sources, print sources. One's a magazine, one's a newspaper, or maybe it's the same thing. It looks to be two different publications to me. But it looks like anyway, it's spreading on the internet as stuff does. It could certainly be interesting. I'm curious to hear it. They just better not call it Van Halen. Well, I mean, the thing is, here we'll go over here. If Alex Van Halen is involved, I mean, he can call it whatever he wants. If it is Van Halen music, if it's unfinished, Alex, he can certainly call it Van Halen if he wants to. But of course, without Edward Van Halen, it wouldn't be the same. But Alex's name is Van Halen. That's right, Ian. That's right. Chris King, what's up, dude? Dude, thank you for all your support, man. All right, so let's do some reading here. Like I said, this is still very early, but it looks like it's been a couple weeks that this stuff has been floating around. And like I said, I was waiting to talk about this until it reached other sources, and it's starting to. But this is written by Matt Owen, Total Guitarist, Guitar Techniques. There is no one who can do this process with me as well as he can. Alex Van Halen says a new Van Halen album is in the works, and he's recruited Steve Lukather to help him complete it. Reports coming out of the Netherlands have confirmed a new Van Halen record will become a reality. There's Steve Lukather and Edward Van Halen, 1993, I believe. If extraordinary reports coming out of the Netherlands are to be believed, Alex Van Halen is working on a new Van Halen album, and Steve Lukather has been recruited to help him complete it. The Van Halen band name has been the subject of much speculation over the past few years, from talk with the ill-fated tribute tour with Jason Newsted and Joe Satriani that never quite worked out, all the way to Sammy Hagar's recent Best of All Worlds tour, which many considered to be the next best thing. An actual new Van Halen album, on the other hand, was never really considered to be a likely possibility, even if there has been concrete confirmed news, most notably from Michael Anthony, that an archive of unreleased, unfinished Van Halen does indeed exist. The general feeling was, though, that this would never see the light of day, and as such, any talk of a 13th Van Halen studio album, especially one without Eddie himself, was futile. However, it seems as though a new Van Halen record is exactly what we'll be getting, and the band's first since 2012's A Different Kind of Truth is on the way, courtesy of Alex Van Halen and Toto guitar great Steve Lukather, who may or may not be playing electric guitar in the place of Eddie Van Halen. Reports of the pair's collaboration emerged in the Dutch press earlier this week with, is it Die Telegraph? And it is paywalled. I couldn't read the magazine. I couldn't get into it. But the magazine, if you translate the title, or the newspaper, it does say New Van Halen record on the way. Quoting Alex Van Halen as saying, Ed and Steve Lukather were very good friends, and they often worked together. There is no one who could do this process with me as well as he can. There's Alex and Edward, 2012 tour. Lukather, for his part, told, is it Die Telegraph? Did Alex say that? Oh, in that case, the news is true, said Lukather. Ed, Alex, and I were very close for years. It is true that we worked on it together. Okay, Lukather's involvement on the project makes sense, and his long-standing connection with the Van Halen name makes him an ideal candidate for the job. After all, he was close to both Van Halen brothers and worked with Eddie on Michael Jackson's Beat It. Eddie also played bass on Lukather's solo debut record. Is that the one where Luke did the song called Twist the Knife, which was Edward had played instrumentally on Saturday Night Live, and then Van Halen finally released a song called Dirty Water Dog on Van Halen 3, which used the same music. Van Halen did play on Lukather's Christmas album, that's true. The pair also jammed on stage on numerous occasions over the years. Of course, with Billy Sheehan. That was for a Jason Becker benefit in Chicago, I believe. Back in like 96 or 97. In other words, it's no surprise that Alex Van Halen tapped Lukather for the project. And now all that remains is to ask, what exactly will the new album sound like, and who else will feature? Will Alex Van Halen and Steve Lukather team up with any former vocalists? Will bassist Michael Anthony be brought on board? Alex has made no secret of his desire to revive old Van Halen parts, and even revealed he's contacted OpenAI about the possibility of rounding out some of Van Halen's old guitar demos. Now that I talked about that when Alex had first when it was said that Alex had said that. Very interesting that he would look into using AI to work on his brother's guitar parts. Very cool. So what do you guys think about this? Could this new album finally bring those to light? Will it tap into the never before heard archive of Van Halen material? Only time will tell. So again, this is written up by Matt Owen, senior staff writer, guitarworld.com. Now, like I said, this looks to be this is coming from a couple sources. Like I said, I saw this earlier in the week. I saw the cover of the magazine, and it was an older photo of Van Halen. It was from Fair Warning era, and the guy had said that he had just interviewed Alex, and he got the news that Alex had said that he was working on the new music and that Steve Lukather was going to be involved. So that's pretty much all we know right now. Let's see what you guys are saying. Joe Smith says Dweezil. Dweezil's awesome. Ian's Guitar Shack. Steve Lukather played on the Tubes song She's a Beauty and Talk to You Later. That's true. Yep. Love the Tubes. I actually played for a little while with Bill Spooner from the Tubes years ago. Steve Lukather was a session guitarist, wasn't he? Yeah. I think he still is. He's played on tons and tons of records, not just Toto. Lukather is incredible. Obviously, worked on Beat It back in the day. That's true. It's better than Alex's alleged idea of having AI completely do it. Legally, yes, he can call it whatever he wants, just not the same without Eddie. Oh, yeah, I think everybody will agree to that. Without Edward Van Halen, it wouldn't be the same. But again, if Alex Van Halen, if this is true, then whatever he decides to release. Now, it does sound like he really he's on board with putting out new music. That's what it really sounds like to me. And having Steve Lukather involved, I mean, it's the perfect choice for this, because again, he was a good friend to Edward, and he actually did work with Van Halen. I believe he did some background vocals for the song "Top of the World" off Carnal Knowledge. There you go. Eduardo. Hey, dude. Yep, that's what I was just saying, man. Hey, good to see you, man. Yeah. Yeah, he's a great guitarist. Very good. Let's see. Jane says, this is great news. And after the just mentioning things, Hagar said, calling him that he now owns Van Halen Music. So, anyway, you guys, Guitar World is reporting this. Guitar Player is reporting this. Music Radar is reporting this. So, is it 100%? I mean, it's looking like it. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Smash that thumbs up. Would new unreleased Van Halen music with Steve Lukather playing the guitar with Alex on drums, what would you guys think about that? Would it be Van Halen? Like I said, if Alex chooses to do that, he is a Van Halen. But of course, anything without Edward would not be the same. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. All right. So let's see. Rob Hines says this would be rad. Yeah. Joe says Steve is too polished, great in the studio, but to recreate Ed's sound, no way. Let's see. It would be about as close as it gets. Yeah, Gaming says, nah. Mike Wood, channel member here on the Johnny Beane YouTube channel, says, I'd rather see Lukather arranging and mixing and producing, maybe letting Dweezil play the guitar parts. I think he sounds the most like Eddie when he plays. Okay, that brings up a good point, Mike. Would we want somebody, it doesn't matter who it is, would you guys want somebody else playing Edward's parts and have it sound just like Edward? Me, personally? No. I wouldn't want that. There was only one Edward Van Halen. And I wouldn't want to hear no matter who it is, I wouldn't want to hear anybody playing those parts to make it sound exactly like Van Halen. I mean, say if it's Alex Van Halen on drums and Steve Lukather playing the material, but Steve sounds like Steve, that's cool. That's cool. But I don't want anybody trying to recreate Van Halen. I mean, unless Alex does look into AI and recreates those parts using AI, and although that's a whole nother thing too. But the last thing I want is for anybody to try to be somebody else. That's especially with Van Halen. I mean, that's just not right. That's why I thought Satriani, I thought what he did on that Best of All Worlds tour was great. He was Satriani playing the parts. He wasn't trying to be Van Halen. You know? No 5150 Bozo sounds great as long as they don't call it Van Halen. Yeah, but again, if it's Alex Van Halen, technically, if he wanted to call it Van Halen, it would still be Van Halen. Right? But it'd be Van Halen featuring Steve Lukather. That's different. I think that's different. Luke just finishing out solos, etc. You think they'd be using a lot of Eddie's tracks and Luke? That's what I think, yeah. Hey, Dan, what's up, man? I think if it's stuff that's already recorded... See, here's what it sounds like to me. Okay, and again, I don't know anything. I'm just reporting what I'm reading here. It sounds like to me, and what I would like, just as far as me being a Van Halen fan. Like I said, I don't want anybody trying to be Eddie Van Halen, no matter who they are. I don't care. But let's say they go through some tapes. They find enough material for a record. And of course, a lot of it is Edward, already recorded. It sounds like to me that Lukather, and again, this is what it sounds like to me. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. It sounds like to me they're going to go through the tapes, And it sounds like Lukather would be helping to put the stuff together to produce the tapes and maybe add some stuff here and there. Doesn't sound like to me that he would be totally recreating Eddie Van Halen on the stuff. That's not what it sounds like to me at all. And I don't think they would do that because most Van Halen fans, I don't think they would want that. I don't know. What do you guys think? So I think if they were to go through the tapes and have Lukather help arrange the stuff, produce the stuff, because again, with AI, with Pro Tools, you can fly parts around, you can recreate stuff. So potentially they could put songs together using Edward's parts and have it still be Edward. Have it still be his parts. But when you produce the stuff, you cut up. Again, this could be a whole different conversation. They could keep it. Anyway. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe we'll talk more about this tomorrow on the show. I like to keep these shows, short, but drop your comments down below. And let's see. It says I'd be more comfortable with Wolf. I know how he feels. Yeah, I don't think Wolfgang would want. I don't think Wolfgang would want to have any part of this. I mean, Van Halen fans give him enough crap, and the people that do that, man, you guys have no idea. What Wolfgang is doing is incredible, doing his own stuff. And anyway, so Wolfgang, if you see this, dude, keep rocking, man. No, I mean, that's the thing about Van Halen is the fans, they love this band so much. And they just want anything. But like I said, having an album with somebody else playing Edward's parts, I don't think that's what people would want. Maybe some would. Myself, no. I think having a new Van Halen record of new material, new unreleased material, with Edward's parts being put together and produced, possibly produced by Steve Lukather, but not having him play all the parts, right? I don't know. Let's see. Ian says, Steve is a friend of the family, so yes, this is good news. People need to face reality. Eddie is gone, and nobody's trying to replace him, and nobody can. Just let them play music. Ian, there you go. There you go, man. By the way, congratulations on your new guitar. Cool. Yeah, Rob Hines, 69, says, I don't think Alex would take Ed completely out. No way. No way. Okay, again, so let me just say what I think. What I would like as a fan. Okay. Would be for it sounds like Lukather is going to help Alex go through tapes and produce the tapes. That's what it sounds like to me. Whether he played guitar over the stuff, he could. But would they take Edward out of the tapes? No. I don't think so. I don't think the fans would want that. So, okay, I'm going to let you guys go. We'll talk more about this on future episodes. This is very interesting news. And is it 100% true? I don't know, but it's looking more and more like it, just from the stuff that's coming out. And like I said, I've heard about this for a couple weeks now, but I've waited to say anything about it until it kind of got out there more, because the last thing I want to do is spread rumors and stuff. But this does look promising. Okay. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. And as far as vocals, actually, Steve can sing. He's a great singer. I have heard some stuff. I've heard some stuff about vocals too. I'm not going to say on here, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, you guys, I'm going to let you guys go. I like to keep these shows about half an hour. Thank you, channel members. Thank you for continued support for this channel and these shows. And check out some other videos, you guys. I do all kinds of guitar stuff, all kinds of Van Halen stuff on the channel here. My friends were just at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame the other day. Which, by the way, let's mention this really quickly while we're here. I can't believe we missed it, man. There's a brand new EVH mini guitar at the Hall of Fame, and we missed it. The Circles is now available. Okay, you know, there's the Shapes. There's this one. There is now a Circles version, and we could have grabbed him at the Hall of Fame, and we missed it. I can't believe we missed that, man. We'll have to get some of those. All right, you guys. Anyway, let me know. Drop your comments below. What do you think about this? Is it true? Would you want Steve Lukather playing all the parts? Drop your comments down below. Let us know what you guys think. And I'll see you guys here on the next show here on Johnny Beane TV. All right. See you guys later. Bye-bye.
Hey, this is Michael Anthony right here, and you are watching exclusively Van Halen on the Johnny Beane TV. Keep it there. Woo! See ya!
Thank you so much for watching. Click on another video on the screen here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Van Halen. And let me know what you guys think in the comments. Pretty interesting story here on Johnny Beane TV.